Yo, how's it going, people? Welcome back to Lee's channel and welcome back to the weekend roundup. To be honest, I did tell you guys last week that that would be Lee's last appearance for a little while, but considering the circumstances, considering the topic of conversation over the last 24 hours or so, considering me personally, I'm frustrated to see a lot of what I'm seeing online, not because I disagree with it, but it's because it's some of the same things I've seen before. But obviously, I've got Lee back as a guest on my show on his channel. How's it going, Lee?
It still gets me when you say welcome back to Lee's channel. I'm so used to saying welcome back to my channel.
Yeah, that's like my thing.
I'm looking forward to an evening off, bruv. Yeah, but even it wasn't going to be an evening off anyway. I've got 2 videos to record for the morning, but
you would have been on more online. You wouldn't have been taking that evening off. I know you.
I don't even know why people get so vexed. It's mad. I just don't get it. Like, I don't get it, bruv. I'm consistent with what I say all the time. Yeah, and when I do feel I've got something wrong, I say it. With Saka, is the perfect example. Yeah, but me and Chig used to argue when Saka first got put in the team under Emery. Yeah, I was like, nah, this kid ain't gonna make it, bruv. Yeah, like, who is this kid? Yeah, after 6 games, I was like, boy, I'm changing my mind on him real quick. Same with Willian. Yeah, I've admitted defeat on Willian. Yeah, I held my hands up at the weekend. I said, I'm sorry, I can't back this guy. Yeah, I've done it for 10, 11, 12 games, whatever it is. Had enough of him. Yeah, and he's hampering the future of the likes of Reece, who I thought was man of the match on Thursday, and he got sat back down. I don't necessarily blame Willian because the manager keeps picking him. He ain't picking himself, but you got to give me more when you're on the pitch, and he ain't doing that. So I can admit defeat when I'm wrong.
Yeah. And that's
man.
Opinions change, bro. You know, if you're one of the people that say, like, and I'm not talking about you in particular, I'm talking about everyone online now. If you're one of the people that say your opinions can't change or think it can't change, obviously changing all the time does make you a flip-flop. But if it changes over time and because of reasoning, then it's a necessary change, you know? Not everyone's opinion remains the same over time, especially years gone by. And we've got a few not super chats, we've got a few chats in already. And this is one I wanted to show you because a lot of people have been coming to my channel saying, Lee sent me. Finally, we've got one in here saying Turkish sent me. Lee, big yourself up, bro. But yeah, more of that. Come on. But we will get into Arteta, Lee, and we will get into Arsenal. This is the weekend roundup. And last week, we pretty much took over the show with all Arsenal talk, and this week I want to touch on the other fixtures first, and then I'm sure we can end with what everyone probably wants us to end on, and that is Arteta out, Kroenke out. What is it right now? And
everyone out, fans out, YouTubers out, everyone out.
Clean the slate, start again, bring the old badge back, and bring Arsenal back from the dead. Because I don't know what it is recently, but look, we're about to touch on it again, and when we get going, Lee. This show will be.
Let's go. Go on, man. Go on. I'm gonna zip it.
Did you watch the match just about an hour ago, Leicester Fulham?
I haven't seen any of the games today. No, I know that Leicester lost, but I didn't see the game. I didn't see
surprising one. Fulham beat Leicester at Leicester's ground. Obviously, there's not much home advantage these days, but it's a mad one because obviously with Leicester, it's one of those teams that finished above us last year, and it's one of those teams that have been inconsistent this year. Obviously, you didn't watch that match, so we'll move on to the Chelsea-Tottenham game, the 0-0, the Jose Mourinho special. What did you take from that game? I looked at it as both teams were pretty much happy to take the draw. What did you see of it?
They're both light years ahead of us. That's how I did a watch-along for that game with Matisse and Dami on the channel. And that was a good 0-0, a really enjoyable for a neutral game. You know, them two were sitting there getting the right on because they're both Chelsea, yeah. But I thought first half, I thought Tottenham were the better team. I thought their pressing was ridiculous in the first half. And I've said this a few weeks now. The best and most decisive thing that Jose has done to that team since he's gone in there is realise how intelligent a footballer Harry Kane is. Yeah, he ain't playing as a striker anymore. He's basically a midfielder. Yeah, and he's the guy that's not so much a number 10 because there was a lot of the time in that game he was on the left centre midfield and then the right centre midfield. But he's the guy that's tasked with getting the ball and being the creative spark. Yeah, he's the one that his footballing brain is ridiculously good, man. When he's got runners like Son, Bergwijn, you know, Lucas was on the bench, Bale was on the bench. I mean, it's frightening how good that front line is. And I just looked at him and I thought, like, he is so good when he carries the ball and he's always a threat. And you can't mark him. You know, technically he's brilliant. Yeah, he can run with the ball. Yes, he's not very fast, but he's got the upper body strength to hold people off. then when you got people like Son and Bergwijn running off you, you're always gonna have options. As for Chelsea, they need a striker big time, because Tammy Abraham is just not the guy, bruv. If they want to be real serious title contenders, they need to go and buy a top banger. Because
I think Werner's the guy for them.
Say again, mate.
I think Werner's the guy for them. I just think until Pulisic comes back, Abraham's
he's more of a second striker though. Like the way they've been playing him is like Abraham up front with Werner kind of floating.
Yeah. It's been working for them, but I think long term, Werner potentially will be their striker. I think he's got all the attributes. It's just the league now. He needs to acclimatise consistently.
Yeah, he's missed a lot of sitters since he's been here, but he's still consistently scoring goals. I know he didn't at the weekend, but when I looked at Tammy Abraham, I thought you're one of the tallest strikers in the league, and you're rubbish in the air. Like if Giroud had the chances he had, they would have won that game. You know, they had the better chances. It was funny right at the end because he tried chipping Giroud. And I was just like, what are you doing, bro? Just lever that top bins, yeah? But then it was funny because Jose's then slumped in his chair like, okay, we're taking 0-0 away from home. And then they nicked the ball right on the edge of the box, didn't they? And Lo Celso, I don't know what he was doing, bro, yeah? Because he had a runner speeding up on the left, yeah? And he didn't pass it to him. I don't know what he was doing, yeah? Jose levered it, running down the wing, having a go at him. But you know what I got from that game, yeah? That they're both levels above us, yeah? And we're in for a big rude awakening at the weekend, yeah, because if they play like they did, even though they didn't score, I thought they were brilliant. Tottenham, I thought Chelsea were brilliant second half, especially. But what I found with Jose, right, and you know I love Jose, bruv, yeah, even though he manages that lot, I wanted him as Arsenal manager.
I remember,
But after the game, he was standing there saying that ain't good enough. We needed to win the game. We wanted to win, and it was like, boy, imagine having a manager that's just got a draw at Stamford Bridge. Yeah, dominated the first half. Yeah, I thought Ndombele was man of the match for them as well. He was quality, man. And then he's come out and said, yeah, not good enough. Yeah, that's how you know that he's building that winning mentality and instilling that in them. Yeah, because years gone past, Tottenham managers would have come out and gone, yeah, good draw at Chelsea. Yeah, he weren't happy with a draw, you know, and we're then sitting there thinking, okay, it's now our turn. And then obviously we'll get into that a bit later. But bro, they're levels ahead of us, both of them, man. Miles gone.
Yeah, no, they are. And what Chelsea done in the transfer window just gone is exactly what we need to do to get back into contention and be talked amongst these teams again. Like in all honesty, the quality they have all over the pitch, both of them, the balance they have, you can see good things coming in the not so distant future if they continue to get it right. With us, we have none of that at the moment, so we still need to get that before we see any sort of balance. And Man United coming back from the dead against Southampton.
Oof, mate,
you know what it reminded me of? Remember when Van P signed for them? Was it their first game of the season and Van P scored that hat-trick and the winner, the Southampton winner, they was 2-0 down, they won 3-2 and they had, it reminded me of that when Cavani came on.
Bruv, he gave every striker in the Premier League a masterclass and a lesson on how to move and finish. Yeah, that first goal, the movement was a joke. Yeah, I didn't even see him. Yeah, I genuinely didn't see him until I was like, "Bro, that's Cavani. Where's he come from?" Because there was another guy, I can't remember who it was, standing behind him, and I was like, "Boy, what a header that goal was!" The second one, I thought it was a bit of a weird movement to try and header that. I thought it was a little bit too low to try and header it. Who am I to tell Cavani how to score goals, bro? Like, what a finish as well. And it's weird because Southampton in that first half were relentless, man. Their pressing was a joke as well. And they probably could have been more than 2-0 up. Yeah. And when they walked off at half time, they were probably a bit disappointed they weren't winning by more. Man United were probably lucky, but I was just shocked he didn't start Cavani. Yeah, when I see Greenwood start, I thought, okay, well, you ain't been playing great recently. Cavani's done all right. You know, he scored the winner up at Everton, or the killer goal at Everton, the third goal the other week. You know, and I just thought, no, Cavani's got to be starting. And I mean, yeah, he got 2 goals. He got an assist. He was on the pitch for 20 odd minutes, half hour, whatever it was. Yeah. It was just a mad one, bruv. And it seems
he came on at half time, I think.
Oh, sorry, yes, he did. Sorry, he came on at half time. Sorry, mate. Yeah, he came on at half time. It just seems like every time Ollie's up against it, he goes on a run. Yeah, and he's clinging on for dear life. You know, they beat Everton, they beat Southampton. They got PSG on Wednesday. They've already beaten them in the Champions League this season. They've beaten Leipzig in the Champions League comfortably 5-0. So it just seems like when he's on a one where it's, Everton, if you don't beat them, you're sacked, he's then gone on a run again. And
he just at the right time. And someone from that game that I want to quickly discuss with you, because he's someone that's slowly but surely crept up on my radar in the past year. And I think it's someone that can definitely add something to our midfield. Is there a little echo there?
No, I can hear you fine, mate.
Oh, you're all right, yeah. It's someone that can definitely add something, and that's James Ward-Prowse. So I think we need at least 3 bodies in and around the middle and attacking midfield. And I think James Ward-Prowse, English, homegrown, someone that knows the league, someone at a good age, and set piece specialist, you know.
Bruv, his free kicks are a joke. They're filth. They are absolute filth, bruv. And that's something that we don't have in our team, really. I know Pepe can do it, but he barely plays anyway. And obviously he's suspended now. Tierney can take free kicks yet. I've not seen him take one yet. Yeah, Kieran Tierney does it for Scotland every now and again. He used to do it at Celtic every now and again. And Willian was apparently that guy. Well, has he even taken one? We've got David Luiz spooning him over the bar every week. Do you know what I mean? But James Ward-Prowse, bro, I'd even take their manager right now. Yeah, absolutely. I ain't even joking. I would take him at Arsenal in a heartbeat. Yeah, because
people saying that.
I think that they've got a team that on paper isn't anywhere near the level of our players. Now, if you go from 1 to 11, our 1 to 11 looks better. Yeah, they're getting a tune out of their players, probably above and beyond. They didn't even have Danny Ings at the weekend. No,
they didn't. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
And they still should have won that game. I know they didn't, but they're still above us. They're still flying around 5th, 6th in the table, I think. You know, and let's be real. What a turnaround that guy's made as well, because they lost 9-0 to Leicester. Yeah, and then since then they've come back. They went on a mad run towards the end. They then beat Leicester at the end of last season at their ground after that whipping. So it was a bit of redemption. And then they've got the style of play that we all thought we were getting. Pass and move, high press, you know, and it's all clicking. And their players are well above what they should be doing right now. As for Ward-Prowse, how much do you reckon he's worth? It's got to be 30s, isn't it?
Yeah, the thing about Southampton, you can buy if you give what they want, and they don't usually outprice a team. So I think 30, 35 million, and in the market now, yes, it's a risk. Yes, on paper it sounds woof, but in reality, we need so much that deals like that could go a long way to fix us.
Definitely.
Talking about Man City now. 5-0 win at Burnley. I think it's their 4th 5-0 win against Burnley in a row.
Yeah.
4 years in a row. It's mad because Burnley are known to defend well generally. But they get pumped every single time. Did you watch that game?
I didn't. I see the extended highlights of it, though. My boy Mahrez on fire, bruv. Mahrez is a bad man. I'm telling you, I love him. What a player. And it's weird, isn't it? Because they've had a poor start, City. I think it's their worst start to a season for like 14 years or 12 years or something. And I think they were below us before they went into that game, which is kind of mad. And listen, we all know that they've got quality. We all know he's a quality coach, and they are going to sort it out. We know that. They'll still get in that top 4, I think. But it seems like Burnley might as well just forfeit the game every week or every year when they play them, because they know it's going to be a 3-0 if they forfeit it rather than a 5, isn't it? just say, no, I'm not coming. We're not playing today. It's mad.
It's just quick because a forfeit is a 3-0 as well, so you might as well go take that and run.
But yeah, no, they were good, man. City were good, and they've got so many players out injured, City, and I think a lot of people are forgetting that. They have got a lot of players out injured. You know, they've got players that have just come back from injury. De Bruyne is not firing like he was last season. You know, he's been a shadow of himself this season compared to last. So once they get all their players back fit, and once they get firing around February time, they'll fly up that table again, man. And they ain't going to win the league. I don't think they'll win it, but they'll be there or thereabouts again.
Yeah, I agree. They'll be there or thereabouts, but I don't think they'll have enough to win it this year. I think they'll probably mount one challenge next year. I think that's what they're lining up for. I'll
just see on Twitter, Fabrizio Romano said they're signing some 19-year-old. They've done a deal for 19. I can't remember his name, some Argentine guy. But yeah, they've just done a deal for him. So I don't know whether he's coming in January or whether he's coming into the season. But they're already spending and looking for the future.
Yeah, something we never really do. I think who have we signed early on before the season ends? It was Podolski one year and Xhaka another year. I think that was it pretty much in terms. But Mahrez, you know, I want to stick on Mahrez quickly because we missed out on Ziyech. But the man before missing out on Ziyech is Mahrez. I think Mahrez would have came to us a year or so after he won the league with Leicester. I think it was well within our grasp, but someone that again, someone we should have really pushed for, but in reality, we let him slip, and on to better things he went. But I love him as a player too. I think that Pepe's potential is there or thereabouts, but in reality, we haven't seen anything close to Mahrez's quality and standards from Nicolas Pepe.
He wanted to come as well. He said recently, about 6 months ago, he said that it was all done to Arsenal, but Leicester wouldn't let me.
Yeah.
But if Arsenal had gone in with a little bit higher money, then he would have gone. You know, I think that was the season they sold Danny Drinkwater and all them ones, wasn't it? And Kante, the whole lot left. And it was like, is Vardy going? Is Mahrez going? And he wanted to come, man. Can you imagine if we had got Mahrez when we had Sanchez on the other side? Like, come on, man, that would have been filthy. Yeah, and then you know, we could have done a few bits then, you know. But I just look at it now and I think, like, every time I watch Mahrez play, bro, the guy is just quality, man. Now, for somebody so skinny, like I'm a skinny one, bro, my man's legs are like twigs. Like, seriously, how that guy don't get snapped in half by some of these defenders is mad. Yeah, and he don't even get fouled that often. Yeah, no, I think because he's so quick with his feet.
Yeah, he is. He knows how to skip them, and his low center of gravity works for him as well. But Everton Leeds is the next one I wanted to talk about, because I was going to move on to Arsenal, but Everton Leeds.
Don Carlo.
Surprising one, you know. And Ancelotti, Everton, obviously they've, I think, lost the last 3 of the last 4. But this one's quite a surprise. Leeds beating them 1-0 away. What did you make of that game? Did you watch it, or did you catch highlights?
Yeah, I see the highlights of that one. I didn't watch it, but it was a really enjoyable game. Yeah, I thought they both had a go at each other. But again, like, Leeds United just seem to be so much fitter than every other team in the league, which is mad, considering they were in the Championship last season. Normally, a Championship team will play a cup game against a Premier League team. The Premier League team wind them down and grind them down by the 70th minute. It seems like Leeds have that extra kick from the 70th minute. Yeah, and they seem to be a little bit fitter than the Premier League teams. I don't know how that's even possible, bruv. Like, how can you have teams? And I know Ancelotti's a top-class manager, man. Yeah, and you'd think that he'd have that team. Like, I'm not going to slag Ancelotti off. Listen, he's managing Everton. Yeah, no disrespect to Everton. Yeah, but he could be managing a team that's a lot better right now. Yeah, Everton are a massive football club, but he could be managing a proper big team right now. Not so much a big club. He wouldn't look out of place at Man City. Yeah, he wouldn't look out of place at Chelsea again. Yeah, he wouldn't look out of place at Arsenal or Spurs. Yeah, he's managing Everton. Yeah, they're punching with their manager, bruv. They're punching with James Rodriguez. They're punching with some of their other players. Yeah, I just look at them and I think that they are what they are, Everton. They're a team that have got aspirations to be a top 4 team, but they are genuinely in a process. Yeah, they've got a process. They know what they're trying to do over the next 3 years. Ancelotti is not the long term. That's the guy that's going to try and get them up there. Yeah, give him a bit more of a war chest. Get some better players in, and then he will hand the reins over to someone else in 2-3 years down the road once they're established as a top 4, top 6, whatever. Yeah, but I just look at him and I think, like, for them to have got a tune out of Dominic Calvert-Lewin to score 13 goals already at this stage, he's doing something right, because that guy couldn't hit a barn door the season before, right? And he couldn't. The guy's relentless in the air. Big up Duncan Ferguson, because he's obviously coaching him, isn't it? Yeah, because
he's in and around the scene.
A big, tall guy, never win a header. Yeah, now he's relentless in the air. Obviously, they're doing something with him, but some of their other players, Seamus Coleman, like, he's a good player. Digne, he's a good player.
Digne's definitely top left back.
Quality, bruv. He's so underrated as well. And their midfield is better than ours. Their striker's currently better than ours. It's just seems like, I don't know, the last few games that they've played and lost, it just seems like it might have caught up with them. Yeah, all these games back to back with what is essentially a small squad. They haven't got the bench that Liverpool have got or the bench City have got, you know. And then obviously Leeds United seem fitter than everyone for some reason.
Yeah, I think heart and determination and ambition goes a long way for Leeds. I think their players know that they've got a top quality manager in Bielsa. They know that they've got owners with ambition. They know that in the next year or two in the Premier League, they're going to push on. And I don't mean in terms of performance and all that. I mean in terms of the transfer window, which will in turn do the performance. But the transfer window, they're going to, in my opinion, for Leeds, because they have a history, because they have something there. And the owners know that. And the way they're going with Bielsa, you can see it working. And you can see it building and growing to the point where Leeds become the next maybe Wolves, who are in and around the top 8 every year. Yeah. And that doesn't bode well for us because obviously
that pushes us down again.
Yeah, at the moment, it seems to be us, the ones that keep on sacrificing our place in either the top 4, top 5, top 6, top 7, and now the top 8 from last year. So is it going to be a top 9 now?
13? Are we 13th or 14th?
14th. 14th at the moment, yeah.
Bruv, 14th.
14th, and we are well together.
I think if Brighton and Palace win, because they played before us, if Brighton and Palace win, we're 16th by the time we play Tottenham.
Potentially, yeah. Actually, yeah, same goal difference as Brighton. They're 3 points behind us, and Palace are same points as us. Yeah, if they do win, then yeah, we are further down the line. And luckily, if it is luckily, Fulham, West Brom, Burnley, and Sheffield United, there's a little gap there from them and Brighton. So it seems that the relegation battle is forming quite early. I'm not sure what battle we're in right now, a mid-table battle for what, I'm not sure, but we've got a super chat in here from Flo that will lead us into the next conversation. And he says, Turkish, I know there are bigger issues at the club, but Arteta has shown this season that he is out of his depth and just looks lost. Needs the sack ASAP. I guess I can agree that he looks out of his depth, but at the same time, did you ever think that he was the man to make it all work? In reality, I don't think many of us did. I think many of us who at one point maybe blindly supported Arteta probably did it more of blind positivity, blind hope, blind optimism. We built ourselves up in terms of our optimism for that Arteta managerial appointment more so than anything. We know the issues at the club run deep. We know the issues are massive. We know that a new manager that hasn't managed before, essentially, the job is potentially going to be too big for him. And we're probably seeing that now, because in my opinion, the job is also too big for an Ancelotti. It's also too big for a Mourinho. It's also too big for these managers because, number one, if they was even to take it, Lee, and I don't think they would take it. Do you think someone like Mourinho or Ancelotti or someone like that would accept the conditions that
Jose said that he had an interview. Do you remember he was at the Emirates for that with Raul for that Europa League game?
Yeah,
I remember that. The one before Frankfurt, I think it was Vorskla or something.
Yeah,
I think it might have been the Frankfurt game actually, and then they sacked Emery. Funny enough, a year ago yesterday. But yeah, he said that he was offered the job, but he didn't like the structure above him. And now, obviously, he's at Tottenham dealing direct with Daniel Levy.
Yeah.
In the middle, and then obviously directors, then the owner. He kind of he's probably never met the owner of Tottenham. The guy lives on a yacht in the Caribbean, never goes to games, don't care. Just Daniel Levy, you run it. Yeah, and obviously he trusts his guy to do that, and he ain't doing bad, is he? But as for Ancelotti, bruv, I would have loved Ancelotti. I would have loved Jose. I would have loved Ancelotti. I would have took OLeary. And the funny thing is that, Unai Emery was out of his depth in the end. But I just look at him and this really winds me up when people say this. Why are you comparing Arteta to Emery? Well, there's no point comparing them to Arsene Wenger. He was here for 22 years.
Yeah.
Emery didn't really have anyone to be compared to, which is why they sacked him. Yeah, because it was the case of, we lost the Europa League final. We fell apart towards the end of the season. We gave him another go and too many draws killed him off. Yeah. And then they sacked him. They've obviously brought this guy in. And let's be real, if they thought that he was out of his depth, well, why did they think that a guy that's never managed weren't going to be out of his depth? It's just a clueless decision. And an FA Cup has masked over for a lot of people. It's masked over all the deficiencies. People can sit and blame the players all they like. He's picking Bellerin every week. He's picking Xhaka every week. Yeah, he's signed Cedric Suarez. Why? Why did we give him a 4-year deal? Yeah, because if you ain't going to drop Bellerin to play him, why did you sign him? That was a waste of £4 million. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Plus the loan fee, gave him a 4-year deal on about £1 million a year. Then when you buy Pablo Mari, why did you buy Pablo Mari if you're going to give David Luiz a new deal? Yeah, why did you buy Pablo Mari, give David Luiz a new deal, and then go and buy another centre back in Gabriel? It's just, that makes no sense to me. You've done 3 centre backs right there. Then he's dropped Maitland-Niles completely out the team when we could have sold him. Well, if you weren't going to play him, we should have sold him. Sold our best goalkeeper. He plays Willian non-stop based on absolutely nothing. I know we've all been crying out for Aubameyang up front. I was one of them. I wanted him up front. Yeah, because I'm sick and tired of seeing him play left wing back, which is what he's basically been doing all season. Yeah. And then he goes up front and offers nothing. You know, we're whipping the ball into him, yeah, to try and win headers. When do we see Aubameyang win headers? He's not that guy. You know, that's a Olivier Giroud. You know, that's not an Aubameyang. Aubameyang needs to be in behind. But we don't play to that. And that's down to the manager for me. But the thing is, Turkish, yeah, I look at it, right? And people can say about the players. I did a stream earlier. I think it was with Rants earlier. And somebody asked me in the chat, what's our best 11? Yeah, I'll name it again for all those that missed it. Leno in goal. Maitland-Niles right back. Saliba, even though I've never seen him play a first-team game over 5 minutes. Yeah, I want him over any of them other centre-backs. Gabriel, Tierney. Thomas Partey. If we're playing a bigger team, we go with El Neni. Yeah, even though I don't rate him, he's limited. He knows his limitations. He ain't going to try and complicate shit, yeah? If it's not a bigger team, then we maybe go with Danny Ceballos or Willock. Yeah. And then in front of that, we put Saka as a floating number 10. Yeah. We know he's going to work back. We know he's going to travel with the ball. We know he's going to have the passing and he'll score goals. Left-hand side, if he's fit, Martinelli. Right-hand side, Pepe. Up front, Aubameyang. That team has got defensive capabilities. They're all physical in defence, including Tierney. You've got Thomas Partey who can do everything. You'll have El Neni in the big games that can shield the back four and run his socks off. You'll have Joe Willock if it's not a big game that can run forward with the ball and chip in. In front of that, you've got Saka who can create. And then you've got Martinelli who's fucking brilliant. Pepe who has the potential to be brilliant. And then you've got the banger up front. Yeah. He has not played that once since he's been here. I know Martinelli's been injured for some of that. Yeah. But at the same time, he still hasn't gone with Saka on that side instead of Martinelli and played the rest. Yeah, why? I don't get it. And then people want to sit there and say, "Oh, it's the players." Well, he's picking Xhaka, bruv.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I agree. There's 100%. There's things that Arteta needs to take on board, and there's things he needs to learn from and quick because it's not getting any better for him at the moment. But what I will say is, as much as I would start Maitland-Niles above, and to be honest, that team there, I don't disagree with anything. Let's just get that out there. I agree in terms of if everyone's fit and well and on form, that team is it makes sense to me. The only problem I have is the midfield is still too
weak.
Yeah, as much as like we might hope it can work with Nene's energy or Willock's box-to-box attributes, I feel like they've let us down so many times in the past. And the same with Maitland-Niles. I feel like even though Bellerin has let us down an awful lot more than Maitland-Niles has, Maitland-Niles is someone that in reality needs to move on as well, you know, for us and for him. So I still think we'd have problems.
We should be looking in the January transfer window at that lad at Brighton. Yeah, Tariq Lamptey. That guy is everything our fans think that Hector Bellerin is going to be or has been. The guy can cross the ball. His work rate's ridiculous. Defensively, he's not great. Yeah, but he gets stuck in. Yeah, and every time I see him, doesn't matter what team he plays against, he's up and down that touchline, bruv. Yeah, and he's working his socks off. And the thing is, right, you know, David Luiz at the weekend, I mean, that was a horrific incident, yeah? And, like, luckily, touch wood, that Jimenez is fine now. Well, better than expected, or I thought he would have fractured his skull. I didn't hear the noise, yeah? People were saying, did you hear it? Well, I was watching it on mute, yeah? But when you see tweets going on, it's like, boy, yeah, and it was a madness. How our team of doctors and medical staff let David Luiz down the pitch until half-time was a joke, yeah? But that just shows to me that he was not confident one bit in putting Rob Holding on the pitch, yeah? No. Why didn't we let Rob Holding go to Newcastle when they came in for him on loan?
Don't you think, you might be right, but don't you think it could be the board?
Don't get it twisted. The board are the fucking worst out of all of them, mate. Yeah, not the manager. The board are worse than the manager. The board's worse than the owner for me. I've said that for years now. Yeah, the owner's not great. Yeah, and ideally he can fuck off, right? Yeah, but for me, that board, bruv, they're older than me and you. Yeah, by double our age. Yeah, they've been there for before we're alive. So they're in their 80s, bruv.
Yeah,
they don't give a fuck about us. They don't care about. They care about taking their dividends to pass down to their grandkids, mate. Yeah, that's all they care about. They don't care about anything. But the one thing I will say here is, since the Kroenkes have become full owners, I think only Man United have outspent us. Yeah, but
has the spending been quick enough?
Say again.
Has the spending been quick enough for you in terms of like?
No, definitely not. Thomas Partey should have been done on day one of the transfer window opening. The reason that wasn't done on day one for me is the fact that they knew if they did that on day one, that our fans would then pressure him to get a war. So they deliberately longed it out, made out we were getting a war all the way through the window, and then dropped Thomas Partey on deadline day to look like they're the heroes. Then the story come out, apparently the owner deposited the money. Like, fucking turn it in, will ya? Like, the owner didn't deposit nothing. The money's already sat there. It's sat there for years, yeah? Like, for me, I just look at it and I think that we spend money, and I think that we've spent enough money to be challenging, maybe not for a title, but definitely we should be regular top fours now, yeah? But the problem is we have put that in the trust of people that ain't got a fucking clue what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, let's be real. Why is Edu here? Like, what does he know about like world football in terms of being a technical director? Man was at Brazil national setup. Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't know about the day-to-day running of Arsenal Football Club. He was playing for us 20 years ago. Yeah, it's a different football club now.
The only worry for me is that when I look back at Wenger and Gazidis, we missed out on Klopp and Guardiola because Kroenke was too slow, or the board were too slow to act. And then when Unai Emery came in, people were underwhelmed, but he was one of the managers I would have taken when we took him on, because he's someone that done stuff in Europe. He has a name, he has a reputation, and someone that deserved a chance. They got it wrong, apparently. Well, we'll never know in reality, but at the time it was so wrong that they had to make a decision. Now we're here again because of another bad decision by them. So I just can't trust them to make the right decision nextly. And
that's the problem, though, isn't it? If they sack Arteta, which I don't think they're going to, does anyone trust this lot to go and pick the right manager? You know, because let's be honest, if they went out there and had some backbone and showed some balls and went, right, let's say who's available, OLeary. Yeah, everyone's available at the right price. Me personally, if we're going to play this dead, dry, boring football, go and get Simeone and pay him 20 million a year. Yeah, just say whatever it takes. If it's 20 million a year, we'll have you. Because if we're going to play this shit, boring football, let's get somebody who's the master of it. Yeah, and gets wins and wins the big honours. Yeah, but they've got to go out there, and if they did go out there and went and got an OLeary, a Simeone, somebody of big stature that has won consistently over years and years in European football, in the top leagues, I'd sit there and go, do you know what? I will now trust the process for 2 years. Yeah, because I'll sit there and think, right, even if we're 16th with the next manager, I know that you're experienced enough to get people out the shit. Yeah, and get that team rocking. When I'm sitting here with this guy and we're in 14th, I'm sitting there going, fucking hell. And this club don't even want to consider sacking him. Yeah, because they know they fucked up. And that'd be an acceptance that they fucked up for a second time. Yeah, which is why they're just going to long us out, bro. They ain't sacking this guy, which means they're fucking our club up.
I'd say third time after Wenger, because
they kept him for too long. Yeah,
they fucked that one up, and that's my problem, Lee. You know, like even let's just say the next 7 months. Yeah, let's just say 2 weeks time we've lost to Spurs and we draw to Burnley at home, and enough is enough. And you wake up in the morning and Arteta is sacked. From that moment, ideally for you, from December to May, what do you want to see? Who do you want to see?
What, manager-wise?
Yeah, manager-wise, and then from December.
Maybe if the manager we want, maybe not be able to get him, for example, let's say it's Simeone, just using it. I'd take him. That'd be my number one. That's the dream. Yeah, it's Simeone, because he'd come in here and he'd fuck Xhaka off. He'd fuck Bellerin off. Yeah, he wouldn't have Dani Ceballos. He'd tell him to get back to Madrid. Yeah, and he would make these players work. You know, when we're seeing players strolling around the pitch, bruv, yeah, like I'm just thinking, boy, Simeone will kick the shit out of you if you're doing that for him. You know, when you see how much distance his teams cover, it is a joke. Yeah, and they work hard. He'd get a tune out of Thomas Partey. Yeah, I know he's injured at the moment, right? But he would, and this is the problem I have, right? You're spot on with what you say about the board, yeah? That when Liverpool signed Klopp, he had a worse team than Arteta took over here. Yeah. Klopp's Liverpool team back then was worse than the team Arteta inherited for Arsenal. Yeah, for me. That's how I look at it. We have still got Aubameyang. They didn't have a top banger, bruv. Yeah, that's one that's clear anyway, right? He set a style of play in there from day one. I was asking a Liverpool fan on day trip, LFC day trippers the other day, and he said we had a style of play from day one. Yeah, but what they did is, as a collective, they went out there and actively signed players that fitted that demographic. They went and brought Mane. Man was pressing all over the pitch for Southampton. He fitted Klopp. We don't do that.
No.
Yeah, we just go, oh well, yeah, we'll take Maria, and then we'll give him a deal. Oh, we'll take Cedric. Yeah, you're free. Well, why did we buy them two players? Yeah, they don't fit what we are trying to do.
That's why you need the right
wasted 20 million quid there between the two on wages and fees. You know,
you need the right person above the manager. So if the manager changes,
Edu is not the guy. Yeah, for me personally, yeah. The way Arsenal structure's set up, you do need that middleman because that ball fucking clueless, bruv. Yeah, they're clueless. Yeah, they're more interested in their horse racing and their golf and all that bollocks. Yeah, they're not interested in Arsenal Football Club anymore. So you do need that middle guy, but that middle guy should not be an ex-player.
No,
yeah? and not one that is going to be pally with the fucking manager.
Not one that's not qualified.
Yeah, exactly. Because this is the thing. It's a catalogue of errors, like you just said. For me, like you just said, what would you like to happen in that time from January to May? I'd like to see Arteta get sacked. Yeah, and if I wake up tomorrow and he's sacked, cool. That's half the job done. Yeah, not even half the job, probably a quarter of the job done. You've got rid of the guy that's fucking taking us lower and lower. Now, get rid of Edu. Yeah, because that's the second one that needs to go because he's shit. Jobs for the boys, bruv. Yeah, Brazilians and freebies and activate a clause on deadline day and it's Don Edu. Well, it ain't, is it? We knew his price anyway.
Yeah, like it was done before.
And then I'd like to see us by the transfer window in the summer. Hector Bellerin has to be the first one out the fucking door, bruv. Yeah, Granit Xhaka, go. We're begging these players to stay. By the way, he could have gone PSG on loan. Bellerin, my man was begged. He even come out the other day, Xhaka, and said, Arteta put an arm around me and said that I have a future here. Yeah, so I decided to stay. He was gone, bruv. He goes, my head was already in Germany. We begged that fucker to stay.
You know what I battle with, Lee? I battle with the validity of those stories that Arsenal push out. You know why? Because how many times, like, look at the Willian, for example. When we signed Willian, a few weeks after, Willian's like, yeah, I went to speak to Arteta and he said, we can win the Champions League in the next 3 years. I feel like it's those messages that the club send out to try and get us behind Arteta, not knowing that we've had enough of Xhaka. So what you've actually done is put more pressure on Arteta because now you're making it seem like that's what I honestly think. You know? I think
you're right. You're right. Because you know what? You only see these when it's international duty.
Yeah.
It's never during the week-to-week games. It's international duty. And somebody put a good comment in there. I don't know where it's gone. A couple above that, 3 above that about Vinay. El Rossi said, get rid of Vinay. Yeah, 100%. How is that guy been tasked with being the right man to lead us forward when a year earlier or 18 months earlier, he wasn't the right man to lead us forward because Raul was, but he was his second in command. But now apparently he's the right man. Well, why weren't he 18 months ago?
So wouldn't it? All right, then. So let me throw in another thing out there because you make sense. Wouldn't it make more sense then to get Edu and Vinay out now? So then we bring in the people above now so they can make the managerial choice. Because if we do it with Arteta first, Vinay and Edu are going to have some sort of a thing. And Edu might bring in one of them old Brazilian players and you know, who knows what will happen. But like, yeah, what do you think of that then? Like, because you make a valid points. And
it makes sense. It makes sense because, like, listen, we've just admitted 5-10 minutes ago that none of us are confident that if they sack Arteta, they're going to bring the right guy in. Yeah. They'll probably give it to Mertesacker until the end of the season, bruv.
Yeah, fam. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At least Mertesacker dresses in a suit and a tie, bruv. I can't stand the fact that he dresses in trainers and jeans. I'm sorry, that is not Arsenal manager to me. George Graham, shirt and tie. Arsene Wenger, shirt and tie. Yeah. Unai Emery, shirt and tie. This geezer thinks he's on a fucking fashion parade. Yeah. Like with his fucking Gucci and his Armani. Fuck off back to Pep with that, mate, because that ain't Arsenal. Yeah. Wear shirt and tie. And them little things for me, are the things that are the values of this football club. Yeah. Wear a shirt and tie on the touchline. You know, I know he did it. Who was it? I don't even think he did it at Wembley. Somebody said to me that he didn't at Wembley.
Yeah.
I think in the semi. I think it was the semi. He didn't wear it. I think he did on the final, but I don't think he did.
Semi, yeah.
I'm like, you're a fucking Wembley, mate. Yeah, Wembley. Wear a shirt and tie and a suit. Yeah, for me, little things like that. Maybe I'm just old school and I'm nagging for the sake of nagging, but that's part of the class and tradition of Arsenal. Yeah,
no, I get you.
We need to go back to that. And for me, David OLeary, yeah, I've said this a couple of months back, right? David OLeary should be doing Vinay's job. Yeah, he should be doing Vinay's job.
Yeah.
David OLeary is Mr. Arsenal. People can say Tony Adams all they like, yeah, and yes, he is. Don't get it twisted. David OLeary is above Adams, you know.
But that's my thing. We was linked to David OLeary, and again, I think that David OLeary was probably demanding what he should be demanding as an Arsenal fan or someone connected to the club, and they turned around and said, "Oh, he's going to be a bit of hard work."
They said he wanted a place on the board, and they said no. Let's
stick with Vinay. He'll be quiet there and just get his paycheck and shut the fuck up, basically. So again, as much as I agree, Arteta's got a lot of things he has to answer for, and I believe that you can't believe in him wholeheartedly without blindfolding yourself. Let's be honest here. You can't believe in a manager that hasn't managed prior to this club.
It's mad.
Without putting on your Arsenal.
Do you know what the sad thing is, Turkish, right? We were so vocal on getting the manager gone under Wenger, yeah? Right? We were so vocal about that. Get him gone, enough's enough, yeah? Right? And I'm not saying I want him back, and I'm not saying I regret some of the stuff I've said, because I don't. Yeah, I wanted him gone. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was for the good and great of this football club going forward. But bruv, if we had sat there knowing that it was going to be Arteta, we probably would have just let Wenger carry on doing his thing, innit? Can you imagine Wenger with this squad? We wouldn't be sitting 14th, bruv.
But again, I don't like saying Wenger, because Wenger, I remember him being the first person to drop us out of. My thing runs deeply, and I don't forgive easy until the problems are solved at this club. Yeah, there's a long list of people. Like, there's a long list.
What would you do? If like you said, the same question back to you, yeah, you said if I wake up tomorrow and Arteta's gone, like what would you do between now and the end of the season? Ideally,
you need to bring in Poch. He's the one that's available, that has worked in those conditions before and made it happen. That's someone that I can truly believe in, and I can debate with somebody else and say why I believe in him. It's hard to debate someone in belief when there's nothing to believe. With Poch, I think he comes in and he brings experience of the league. He brings experience making top four. He brings consistency and development. He has developed a lot of good Tottenham players over the years from nothing to something.
Yeah.
So that would be me ideally. But at the same time, Lee, when April hits, I'll be asking for the same thing I ask every April. And that's for fans to start applying pressure, whether that's hashtags, whether that's planes, whether that's banners, whether that's walking out in the 49th minute, the halftime, walking in at halftime. Do something from April moving forward, because we are not in anything. And if we are in anything, it's a top four battle. And us trying to help the manager by pushing this board to finally back whoever that is not negative. It's positive. And the players should get behind that as well as the manager. So I don't want to hear about new managers in first transfer window, give him time. Give the manager a transfer window, but the transfer window needs to be one that I'm impressed with. If I'm not impressed with it...
What would you rate the transfer window just gone out of 10? What would you rate it?
5.
I gave it a 3.
5.
I gave it a 3, bro. And the reason I gave it a 3, we didn't get rid of Bellerin, we didn't get rid of Collar, we didn't get rid of Ozil, we didn't get rid of Holding, Chambers, or any of the rest of the crap. Xhaka, and there's potentially 11 players that shouldn't be here. Yeah, when people say you need time, that's bollocks. About you need time, you need 4 transfer windows. If you look at the 2 Europa League finalists, Sevilla and Inter, bro, they made 27 signings between them in the transfer window in the summer, which then led them to get to Europa League final. One made 14, one made 13. They both got to the final. Yeah, if they can do it in one window, why can't we? And they didn't spend that much money. Sevilla are small in terms of earnings.
Yeah, they're small. They're definitely small in terms of earnings. He done very well there. So
let's go for the donations as well. I just put that in the chat, and make sure you sub to Turkish. His channel link is in the title. 1,500 people watching this on all platforms right now.
Come on, people. Make sure you hit that like button as well. And like Lee said, subscribe to my channel, link in the title. Continue getting your questions and thoughts in. And yeah, we appreciate the super chats because they've been flying in too, Lee. I've missed a couple. I apologize if I've missed your super chat. Obviously, the conversation runs deep on this subject with both of us. We're both fed up in our own separate ways, but we're both fed up in our own similar ways too. And in terms of the question you asked me, I think regardless of what happens with our manager, and that's why I look past the manager, because essentially, Lee, I don't care what happens with the manager right now, because for me, when April comes, Lee, whatever the case at this football club, whether we're 4th, 10 points away from 1st, whether we're 14th, 3 points above relegation, whether we're 10th, cozy, no one around us, put pressure on the board, because every summer is integral, but next summer is even more so, because
I was tagging everyone in the summer saying, we care, do you? I cared more about their manager than they did. I wanted the manager backed, and I didn't even rate the manager, and that's what pisses me off of it. It's like, if the fans, and I said this before, I think I said it on last week's show, every football club has a social media team. Yeah, they're scouring social media every day, their media team. Arsenal probably watch you. They probably watch me. They watch AFTV. They watch every single Arsenal channel out there, their media team, because they want to see what I'm saying. They want to see what you're saying. They want to see what people are saying in the chat. And people think, oh, you're being big-headed when you say it. 100%. I know for a fact they're watching everyone. They're watching Twitter. They're watching Insta. And when people are sitting there happy, because Arteta's won us a cup, and it means that we can ditch the we care to you, they must have been sitting there going, boy, yeah, that was easy. We just dropped party on deadline day. It's like,
they definitely do watch it. They definitely do watch it. I remember when I used to do, what was it, man? What do you call it? When you record at games and that? I forgot. Vlogs. The club communicated with me politely that I need to stop doing it because of all these copyrights. So they're watching, they're watching.
You're not allowed to film in a football stadium.
Yeah. So you can see, there's facts. They are definitely watching. And if they're watching me at this time, I had a little old 4-5K on YouTube. They're definitely watching. They're definitely watching this channel.
You can't vlog anymore.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah.
But you know what? I've said this before, If you hadn't said anything about Kroenke, if you hadn't said anything about the manager at the time, if you hadn't have been on Fancams, for example, going out to a wider audience, they probably wouldn't give a toss, bruv. Yeah. But because you're maybe putting their club, or our club as it is, because without us, they ain't got a club. We're putting the club into maybe, as they see it, a negative light. Yeah. They probably do get the with that. When you go into the Emirates, it's got signs all around it saying, don't take any photos in here. It's illegal. You're not allowed to take a photo in the football stadium, bruv. That's fact, not just at Arsenal. That's every stadium.
Yeah.
Because of copyright, like you said, and the club reached out to you and banned you from vlogging. Well, listen, it's their club. We're in their playground. Yeah, the same as YouTube. Yeah, if YouTube want to strike me right now, it's their platform, bruv. Yeah, they can do what they want. But this is the thing, like, they do watch everything, and you just confirmed that, bruv. You had 4K subs, and they're telling you that. Yeah. It's mad, and this is why I get the that I spent all summer. You see it, bruv. Yeah, all summer. We care to you. I was relentless with it. Yeah,
that's why, Lee, what pisses me off too, when they see all these fans clicking the link that were linked to this player or linked to that player, when they see fans tracking flights, tracking Addison leads, they think to themselves, we done a good job. Let me pat myself. Don't pat yourself on the fucking back. Someone should come and elbow you in that back, because you need to go do some more business, fam. But it's like they rest for a few weeks. Yeah, we done our thing. Like, let's slowly, 3 weeks there, let's release something else. Like, Oba's contract was in the back pocket for months.
Bro, that was just the season.
Yeah, they just thought between Gabriel and Partey signings, there was a lot of time. So they thought, let's drop the Oba one in there, just in between that, and let's just build sign. He put an hourglass on his Twitter. Don't be doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Some fans care so deeply about this shit. It pissed me off, fam, because you don't do that stuff. Man needs to know if you're staying or not. Because as much as people think it's all jokes and all these rants are this and that, man loves this club. And you're messing about with all these youths' emotions and that, and you're messing about with me, and I'm a grown man. Tell me, are you signing or not? Don't put an hourglass on Twitter. This ain't no fucking game show.
Exactly. Bruv, I expect nothing less from Aubameyang, bruv. Man was having row with Tony Kroos online the other day. Regardless of what Tony Kroos said about him, about he's not a role model because he wears a mask on a celebration, which is dumb anyway. Yeah. Why the fuck is our club captain beefing with a guy on Twitter? Yeah. Then you got Mesut Ozil putting out the gif of Aubameyang with the fucking mask on. Like these are our two biggest paid players, you know, on 700 grand a week, bruv, between them.
You don't see the Brian.
Where we're at. We're a fucking joke. Yeah, we're a laughing stock.
Mentality character. You don't see Salah, Mane, De Bruyne. You don't see none of them man doing that.
Yeah, you don't see none of them on Twitter.
Yeah, it's facts. It's facts. The thing runs deep. It can go. We could debate everything top to bottom from this club, and it'll always turn sour because there's nothing positive coming out of any aspect at the moment.
You know the only positive? I'm going to spin a positive. Do you know the only positive? Yeah, Martinelli and Saka and Tierney, Gabriel and Partey. The rest of them, bruv, come on. Let's be real here. If the rest of them all fucked off tomorrow, would anyone really care?
You know what it is, Lee?
Yeah, maybe because he scores goals, yeah. But the rest of them, would we care? Bruv, the whole season, other than the FA Cup, was Martinelli and Saka.
I get you. No, it's true. You're right, and at the moment you can look at them as positives, and I agree with every single one. But Saka and Martinelli in particular, as much as I see them as positives, I also see in 3-4 years them going for high-profile moves because that's just the club we've been.
Oh, Martinelli would definitely be at Barcelona or Madrid, bruv. Come on, that's a given.
It's up to the club to prove me wrong. And with the other players, Gabriel, Partey, Tierney, if we don't build well enough around them, they'll just be the next Sanchez, Ozil, Cazorla, who, okay, they had good times at the club. They were big names, but in the end, they did very little because what really matters is challenging, reputation. And if you're
down a beautiful fucking stadium for this shit, yeah. And that's why when people sit there and say, "Oh, well, it's not Highbury, you're living in the old days." No, I was there listening to Peter Hillwood read out about the funding 19 years ago. Yeah, in 02, nearly 19 years ago, saying we've got the funding from Barclays to build Ashburton Grove. We're going to compete with Europe's elite. That was nearly 2 decades ago, bruv. And people are sitting there happy, going, "Oh, you're negative, you're this, you're that." Well, I want us to fulfill what we smashed that stadium down for, because when we were there, we were competing.
Yeah, I mute anyone that says negative to me now. I mute because I get embroiled in these little arguments with.
Yeah, I've got to stop atting people, bruv. Real talk.
You know what? It's not easy. It's not easy not to though, because at the same time you care. So I care. So when I'm seeing stupidity, I need to address it, and I'm addressing it in the hope of maybe me, you know, showing you the light, or maybe me even embarrassing you, and your statement might help open your eyes, you know. But then personal little things online, I mute them now and I take a back seat because you're not going to please everyone, Lee, you know. And especially me and you, we've been painted by brushes that it seems like the paint is never ending. Like it's always going to be on us. It's that police paint that never fucking leaves. You know?
Yeah, you know when you try and climb up the side, it's that fucking
yeah. That's the sort of paint we've been brushed with. So it's always on us. There's never going to be a way we could be behind any real change at the club. I'm going to be honest. As much as you have nearly 50k on here and however many on Twitter, and if you combine me and you alone, let alone other people that are fed up online and whatnot, we've got over 100,000 subscribers, followers, people that listen to us, and I still believe we can't do F4 because number one, the brush we've been painted with, and number two, because the division in the fan base.
There's a lot of accounts that I'm not gonna get into it, but there's a lot of accounts that have got bigger followings, yeah, that they don't swear, yeah, they don't necessarily stick it on the club, yeah, but they say everything we say, but they say it in such a way that it's constructive criticism rather than me having a rant, yeah. But they ain't got no fucking passion in their body whatsoever, bruv, yeah. And it's like, you ain't passionate about Arsenal, because if you were passionate, you'd say a bit more rather than sitting on the fence half the time. And it's just like, you're right, we probably can't do anything. But that's why I get the ump when I see some of these bigger accounts that do have a bigger reach. Because if everyone did say the same thing, yeah, rather than pretending to themselves or lying to themselves, then maybe we could. Because let's be honest here, right? When I look at Chelsea, bro, they get managers sacked left, right and centre. But at the same time, that's because they got an owner who will pull the trigger. But when Chelsea have had enough of a manager, bruv, you know in 6 weeks he's gone.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7 games, bang, see you later. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Chelsea fans online are relentless when they want to manage a sack, bruv. Yeah, do you think we're bad with Wenger out and all that? Yeah, Chelsea Twitter is horrible when they want to manage a sack, bruv.
I remember. It's not so long ago that I saw how they treated Sarri, Conte, Mourinho.
Bruv.
3 in the last 6 years we've seen them get out of there.
Right. But they get them sacked because, do you know what? They've got a board and they've got an owner who give a shit. Yeah, they're young. They're not old duffers, bruv, that are fucking waiting to fucking keel over and pass their fucking inheritance on. Yeah, like, with all due respect. But it's the be all
and end all. I mean, an owner that has ambition is the be all and end all. He might want to win for his ego. He might want to win for personal gain, but at least you want to win because that aligns with what I want. You know, it's not for personal gain. I don't receive any money off the back of Arsenal winning league titles, but I receive memories. I receive clout in arguments. I receive some of my pride back when I'm talking about
your mates. Bro, my pals don't even text me when Arsenal lose anymore. Yeah, it's just a regular thing now, isn't it? Yeah. Literally, when Arsenal used to lose, my phone would be popping. My Tottenham mates, my Chelsea mates, my Man U mate, they don't even bother, bruv. Yeah, it's just a regular thing. Like, every now and again, I'll have a conversation. I'll just go, don't even start. I know we're shit. And they're like, that's why I left you alone.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I mean, the other day, I don't know how I went into it, but 2-0 to Southampton, I thought, let me just message the group and say, 2-0. Because my boy said he's confident today. He went for a 3-0 United win. And at 2-0, I messaged back saying, confident, 2-0. Lo and behold, after our game, who's FaceTiming me? I answer it and I'm just looking at him like, what do you want? Like, I know what my club is about. It's not like you're surprising me here. You're the one that, you're confident about your club. You nearly lost. I'm not confident about mine.
Right? Because when I started the stream up the other day, it was about 2 days ago, there was a Spurs guy in my chat before I even went live and he was just spamming the chat going, Arsenal was shit, Arsenal was shit, Arsenal was shit. Yeah. I was like, bro, if you're preaching to the fucking converted, I know we're shit. Yeah, like, why are you here? Like,
I don't get it. I know we're shit. People. You're talking to the wrong people, mate.
Really. This is the thing. This is what pisses me off, though, with it, Turkish. Yeah, it's like, I've seen us be great. Not just under Wenger at times, but under George Graham as well. Yeah, and it's like, we sold our fucking soul to move to this stadium, and we all got done, bruv. We have all been finessed, because they weren't trying to compete. They weren't coming here to compete. They were coming here to make as much dough as they can. Yeah, and listen, fair play to them. Why didn't they just fucking say it?
Yeah, and why have our fans fallen in line? And instead of admitting we were duped or admitting that we got it wrong as a fan base too, a lot of fans just say back the team. A lot of fans just say.
That's another thing that winds me up. Yeah, back the team, bro. We went all around fucking Europe backing this fucking team under Wenger. Yeah, we didn't want the manager, we didn't want half the players, but we still backed them.
Yeah, exactly.
We back them, innit?
Exactly. Every game, I want the team to win. I want the team to do well and perform well and prove me wrong. Hence why after Man United, I said Bellerin's best performance for 2 years. But if you think next week I'm not going to come out and say Bellerin is shit because of what he did against Aston Villa, you're mistaken because I'm going to give it to you the same way. I'm not going to hide behind any excuses anymore because there is no excuse for it, Lee. You want Arteta out. Understandable. I want Kroenke out. Understandable. All that I do know is there's nothing positive right now about the football club or the way we've been run for the last 10 years. Nothing. Not one bit. And we might pick on Saka and Martinelli now, but in reality, ask me in 5 years if they're still at the club or whether that was also heartbreak because we lost one of our academy graduates or we lost Martinelli for half the price we should have got him for because he's on the last year of his contract. Sounds about right.
Yeah, well, listen, mate. Yeah, again, Saka was another one. Yeah, they longed that Saka deal out. You said about the Bamiyang deal. They longed that Saka one out as well, bruv.
Yeah, that's true.
And this is what they do. And how people do not see through this shit is mad because they do it every year.
Yeah,
every single summer, bruv. Yeah?
Every year. They finesse us in the same exact way, and we fall for it. I just hope that.
What do you think the answer is to it? Like, I know we're going to wrap up in a second, but what do you think the answer is to it? Do you think it is just the owner and then start again, or do you think it's everyone and start again? Like, because it's a hard one, isn't it? We could go and get a Roman Abramovich style owner, but then he might keep the board. And let's be real, right? This guy now fully owns the club, so he can sack the board. He can sack a lot of them.
Can do anything he wants. He Kroenke obviously bought the club. He's happy with what it was making, and they said, "You lot just keep running the ship, make the decisions." But I think obviously we're going on to our second year in the red in terms of loss. I think that's gonna perk up Kroenke's ears a bit. And the solution, Lee, I think to get most of the fan base on side again, it'd have to be a new owner, because new managers are just going to cause more division, because it's either going to be someone we don't want and we argue with the people that say positive and back them, or it's going to be someone we do want and they're going to turn on us because we didn't want Wenger anymore. You know, that whole tit for tat thing. I feel like the fan base is too divided to get past it. So I think a new owner is our only avenue, Lee.
Can't disagree. Listen, like, bruv, you know I'm not his biggest hater, but trust me, I ain't a fan of him. I ain't a fan of him.
Yeah.
And
just promise me, Lee, if Arteta gets sacked, the next person can only be Kroenke. Promise me that.
Do you know what? Yeah, like I said earlier, right? Since he's been owner, we've spent only Man United have outspent us. Since he's been a full owner, only Man U have spent more than us. They're the biggest club in the world.
No, I know spending one thing, but I want a more Roman type where you get hands on. You want to win, a winner.
Well, apparently next year, this fucking Nigerian brother's going to come and buy us, bro. That's what he keeps banging on about, isn't it? So let's see if he's got a fucking bank balance to back his mouth. Yeah,
he's building oil refineries. So if you're building oil refineries, then I'm sure you do have a bank balance, you know, to back up that mouth. But hopefully that is the light, because the last light, which was Usmanov, went dimmer and dimmer before it was non-existent no more, and it's been dark times ever since. So Dangote, if you're watching, you know, please.
Oh, baby, come in. Baby, come in.
Come and do this, man. Come and do this. But Lee, obviously, it's been a pleasure again. We're 1 hour in, over 1,600 people. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share it, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, all of that stuff.
400 likes on this video. That's a disgrace. Not even a quarter of people. Yeah, not even a quarter of people have liked this. You absolute rats. What's going on?
Come on. That army, where are you, man?
That army assemble. Come on, man. Pump the like button. Make sure you subscribe to Turkish's channel. Link in the title. Click the @ in the title. It takes you straight there. And just press the subscribe button. And you're not far from 30K, are you?
Nah, I'm about 1K off now, 29K.
Come on. If anyone has not subscribed, go and do it right now. And listen, it's always therapy, man. These are therapy sessions, bruv.
Yeah, I needed it today, man. I can't lie. It's been a frustrating day, so I thought let's just round it up with a nice debate with Lee and then call it a night.
Yeah, man. I got to record 2 videos now.
Well, you apparently had a night off, mate. Sorry about that.
Well, I was having a night off. I was sitting there thinking, boy, well, I'll do my videos. I'll chill. I'll phone the missus. And then you text me and said, yo, maybe we should do it. I was like, cool, fuck it, man. Let's go.
Come on, G. Appreciate it as always. Like Josh said, rattle the like button. And we will be back on our own channels, I guess, later tonight, tomorrow.
I'll be back 7:30 a.m. UK time. Daily transfer update. We're going to be linked to everyone and sign nobody. So 7:30, I'm recording that in a minute. 10:30 Premier League transfer video will drop, and then I'll be back live streaming at lunchtime. Come on. And James, love for that. Like, subscribe. That's what I like to hear. Make sure you guys all do that. Nearly 50K for Lee, nearly 30K for me. We keep it moving. And until 7:30 tomorrow, catch Lee. And tomorrow evening, I'll be back with the Big Six show. Until then, people, we are out.